Welcome everyone to another episode of Rapid Fire. I'm joined with my co-host Jody Eppier.
How are you?
I'm Miles O'Kane. Thank you for joining us. So again, these episodes or videos, just feedback on some things in teaching that we've found tricky over the time. Some advice, some strategies, some things will hopefully work for you and cut down on your workload. Like always, just our opinions, but we hope everyone's doing well out there and we can find some good times with this. So today's focus for this video, we're going to look at what it takes to be a good team player.
Nice.
And the reason I wanted to focus on this, I think you and I haven't played a lot of sport growing up, in particular team sports. You start to realise how important a team is, how to play your role. It's not all about you all the time, how to make the team better. I think, I say one of the best things I did in life was play team sport from a young age. I think it tells you how to interact with people. But I think most stuff in life these days is going to be in a team environment, so you need those skills to be able to work with.
Absolutely.
So no particular order here, but these are what we've come together with a list to figure out the most important things to be a good team player. First one, willingness to share ideas and resources. I think if you've got a good team, it's just everyone's communicating, everyone's teaches different. I know you and I teach different, we have similarities, teach different, but be able to get across that and share ideas with things that do and do not work, I think is a big thing. Also, no hoarding resources. I mean, I know it sounds petty, but if you want everything, like having time's always going to be, there's not enough of it. So if we can cut down on time and still be as effective, that's a key player for me.
Absolutely. Just a really short on that one. I think what it is that best practice, if you've got good ideas that actually work effectively and get the results, and you share that with your colleagues and they implement it onto their students, at the end of the day, it's best practice, stick by that theory of best practice.
Which then rolls into our next point as well. I think be able to observe other teachers. Like I know still teaching 15 years, I observe other teachers and I'm still learning stuff.
Yeah,
so I think if you're a good teacher, you put yourself out there.
Yep.
Other people feel confident enough to come and approach you as well. And it's not about me being better than you or you being better than me.
Correct.
It's about growing together.
Yes.
And I think it's to be able to continually improve your craft as a teacher, that's going to make the students better. So I think taking a bit from people around you, and it doesn't have to be the best teacher, but if you see a teacher do something well you like, feel free to obviously talk to them, see if you can implement that into your teachings.
I agree, 100%. Be teachable. Always remain being teachable. And take on new ideas, as technology evolves, there's going to be a lot more technological things that are going to have to be put into our teaching, but just be teachable. Don't close your mind off to things because you never know, you might learn something new.
Yeah, have a positive attitude.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to, look, don't get me wrong, everyone's allowed to vent, but I think if you're venting more than like a minute or two, then it becomes just a whinge fest.
Yep.
I think you get it off your chest, but then start having some solutions there as well.
Yep.
Supportive, be supportive of other team members. Again, it can be resources, curriculum, behaviour, just talking. I mean, I think just be able to talk to your colleagues around you and just see how they're going. Teaching's a very emotional job, so being able to have an outlet, not just how to keep it all in, having an outlet to talk to trusted team members, it makes more of a communal effort. And if it's a communal effort, it means A, it cuts down the workload for you, but B, it's going to be more effective across the department or the section or the school as well. And if everyone's doing it, a tide lifts all boats or whatever the saying is, it increases the level across wherever you're working at.
Being supportive, like as you said, support can come in many shapes and forms, as you said, bro. Like, it could be just this one-on-one conversation that we might have. It could be something that has a resource that you can use. Just if you're a team player, just be there, just support where you can. Don't take it to the point where you're allowing that teacher to do everything to lift their game, but just support them in times when it's quite tough or whatever. It's you don't do it for it to come back to you, but you do it because it helps the overall department, it helps the overall the teaching and the running of the school. So yeah, be supportive all around.
Yeah, and I always think about, and it's going to sound very manly now with the macho take, which I'm not trying to do, but it's who you want to be in the trenches with. If you're fighting in the trenches, you want people you can rely on next to you because they're going to keep you alive and support you.
Absolutely.
And you do the same for them, taking it to the nth degree there.
Yeah.
I think obviously being reliable as well. So, with deadlines, or you say you're going to be somewhere, or you say you're going to do something, everyone forgets stuff time to time. But just make sure that your word becomes kind of your bond in a way that you're following through, you're getting stuff done. People see, and you're not going to be perfect all the time and don't expect to be perfect, but just, and like, I still to this day, I still own my mistakes and go, look, I'm just sorry for doing that. And then I'll try not to make the same mistake again. But I think it's people want to be able to see you as a reliable person, because then people can give, trust each other and help operate and move stuff around.
Being reliable is such a big thing. I look at deadlines. If anything, from a teaching perspective, try and meet every deadline, even if you can get before it. But what that does, it just sets up a good relationship that you can be trusted to do so. And for whatever reason, let's say you do meet deadlines 90% of the time, and come that one time when you unable to because of XYZ reason, usually there's a little bit of it's okay, you can get it in, try and get it in the next day or whatever. But deadlines are important from a professional point of view. Get on top of those.
And I think especially in teaching, because there's so much happening, you can get stuck, and I've been guilty of this, getting stuck with the menial tasks. Whereas if you get those locked away, it means you give more time to focus on the big picture stuff, which has more effect on stuff. Being adaptable, teaching these days, teaching these days, definitely more and more stuff happening in the classroom in education. So you just want to make sure that if your lesson does swerve, or something does swerve and it's not expected how you thought it would be, that you're going to be able to deal with it as well. You don't have to have like set plans, but definitely have a few backup strategies or key strategies. The main thing is don't panic. Like, you can sit there and go, and I've been guilty of it, sit there and go, this is going pear-shaped really quick. But don't think, like, just, calm down and get your breathing stuff under control, but then just figure out a way, even if it's just completely change tact, and you'll come back to, the lesson at one point. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time.
And that's absolutely true. That you will come across some lessons that may occur like that, because sometimes a variable that you didn't plan for occurs. So, as you say, don't panic. But it's good to also have those things happen in a sense, because it allows you to go back into your repertoire of what you've sort of done in previous years, and you think, we'll do this now, just to get everybody refocused or whatever else. So it's just one of those things where you just have something in your back pocket, just in case. For a rainy day. Yeah,
your team activity is very good with that. Proactive. It can be, look, if you're starting out in the career, I get it. There's a lot going on. As you get more comfortable with your career, the more proactive you are, it's going to be the better. It helps the team out. There's going to be times you have to be told stuff, but if you can take a lead with something, or go into a passion project that relates to teaching somehow, it's going to help your department. It helps alleviate probably stress across the group, but also it gives you a focus as well. It's not just taking on work for extra work, but if you've got something that you're passionate about that's going to help the team and help in an educational setting, then go pursue it. And it might not be a priority at the moment that your leader or whoever it is sees, but you can find a way to get it in, within reason. Most things are going to be within the realm of acceptability these days if it's helping a student with education.
Being proactive in any way, if you're able to assist in any shape or form, it just shows your camaraderie to the rest of either the department or the rest of the staff at school. And the cool thing with that is that if you're seen as a team player and not a person that sort of always makes an excuse or everything's in too hard basket, people will not really rely on you, or you're thought of that can't be reliable. So if you're a person, as you say earlier, of your word, that's it. You're of your word. Make sure that you are holding yourself accountable to that. And if you've got gifts or talents in areas that you can offer your services in, by all means jump in, because it actually helps the greater wider community. For
sure. And last thing we're going to finish on is just remain respectful. I mean, there's going to be times that you want to bite your tongue. There's going to be times that probably emotion flares up and you have to bite your tongue. Just don't react in the emotion. Do your best, just get through the situation. Think about it, debrief with yourself or with someone, but then go have the conversation, do what you need to do in a respectful manner. But it's easy, and look, everyone's stressed out, everyone's got stuff, but just treat each other with respect, and that's going to be the foundations for a good team.
Absolutely. It's one of those things where everybody's not perfect, and at some stage things will get on top of us. We've just got to maintain the fact that when you see a colleague in that perspective, ease up. At the same time, don't be too hard on yourself. Walk away from a situation if it's better for everyone in particular, and come and readdress it later on. It's better to do that instead of act out of emotion, because you're going to say things that you shouldn't be saying or have said or whatever.
So look, it's just a quick video on sort of the importance of teamwork in teaching and sort of how to contribute as a good team player. Like always, we appreciate you listening, and we'll catch you next time.